Hey guys, it's Deepet here. What you're about to watch is the Yin Yang Podcast's very first attempt at recording a podcast live. As we mentioned on Yuyu's recent update video, we were asked by my boss to do a live show as sort of a pre-show kind of thing for my work's annual drive-in. And if I sound nervous during this, it's because I am, because this is the first time that we've done this live and we had to perform this in front of my coworkers and friends. So there was that. Also, I do apologize if you hear any background noise. The setup that we had for the podcast was a little bit different than what we usually do. So there's that. I would also quickly like to give a huge thank out to friends of the channels, my friends Hannah and Luke for providing their voices for the introduction for the live performance, as well as Luke providing us with the podcast's new background. Hopefully it doesn't take too much away, but anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the very first Yin Yang Podcast live performance. Enjoy.
The following podcast may contain foul language which some may find offensive. Unless you're a robot. They don't count.
Good evening, Kid Enterprise. It's time to play the music and light the lights. It's time for the return of the Yin Yang Podcast with your hosts, D-Pad, Yuyu, Kirby, and Robot Toaster. And now please welcome the host of this live performance, the podcast mad scientist, the one and only D-Pad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Yin Yang Podcast. As always, I am your host, D-Pad. And with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Yuyu Kirby.
Hey there.
And the lovely Robot Toaster.
Hi, everyone.
And a special shout out to all of my coworkers here tonight watching us live. We are doing this podcast recording live for an annual event that my work is doing. I am so thankful that we're getting to do it this year instead of last year, because last year we kind of had that hiccup there, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, it's working out, which is good. So there's that. All right. So without any further delay, you guys just want to jump right into this?
We're already
All right.
recording.
You know what I mean. So
I'd rather jump into this than jump into conclusions.
You've been streaming over on Twitch. So how has the Nicktoons Summer of Fun been going? You're just about done, aren't you?
Yeah, we're almost done because I'm now on the final game, SpongeBob Cosmic Shake. And I'll be honest, I'm very glad I chose to do that last before,
Really?
instead of what the original plan was. Because good God, those Wild Thornberry games were not good, and those would have been a very disappointing end.
Well, I'm glad that you're liking Cosmic Shake.
Yeah.
Because I told you it's a good game, and yeah, I didn't you mentioned stuff about the game that I didn't know, and so I did actually have to reinstall the game to check it out. And yeah, you're right, the costumes, different charge attacks. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Prime example, the flower costume uses the basket.
That's right. All right, and Toaster, how have things been going with you? Because you've been a very little busy robot.
Yeah, I've been going through a lot right now. I've been moving, and I'm going to be moving again pretty recently because should I tell them?
Yeah, go ahead and tell them.
I'm going to grad school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
We're proud for you. We're proud of you, and we're happy for you is what I mean.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yes. All right, and so as I mentioned before, me and Yuyu and my friend, we're going to be doing a stream on my Twitch on Monday. I will post the schedule that our dear friend Luke, who also provided his vocal talents for the intro. And I want to also give a huge shout out to my friend Hannah for the other announcement at the beginning of the video. But Yeah, that's like it's actually gonna be my first time streaming, so I'm nervous with that, but I'm happy that I have someone that streamed a lot, like Yuyu, who is going to be like kind of helping me out with that.
Yep.
All right, and so before we get into our first topic, Toaster, you recently went to the Boston Fan Expo convention, right?
Yeah, I went to Fan Expo Boston. It was the fourth time I've been to a convention. I've been to Rhode Island Comic Con twice, and back in June I went to Trek Long Island, which was my first time going to a Star Trek convention. And so yeah, it was the last weekend before I officially started my classes. My parents thought it would be just like a fun day out for me, and it was one of the most exciting things about going to Fan Expo Boston. Well, one of the guests I was really excited to see was Kate Mulgrew, who plays Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, of course. I know she's your favorite captain, D-Pad.
Yeah, she is. I don't care what people say. I liked Voyager for what it was. Okay.
I mean, I'm a DS9 girl myself. My order goes Cisco, then Kirk, then Janeway, then Picard. Sorry, Picard.
Why you gotta do the guy dirty like that? Why?
And just like that, Toaster's now been branded a terrorist for Star Trek.
No, it's not that I don't like Picard. It's that I like a lot of characters more than it's that I like a lot of the others more than him. Cisco is my guy.
Yeah, but Kirk over Picard.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I know that's heresy, but I like him more. It's complicated. But anyway, back to Boston Fan Expo. So not only was Kate Mulgrew doing a panel there, which was awesome. She said a bunch of stuff about her character and how it has impacted people. I also brought something for her when I went to see her sign autographs and stuff. Do you still have the portrait I did? Do we want to put it on the screen? Or I guess we can't do it while we're live.
I'll add that to like the video for YouTube after, and
All right.
if you're okay, I'll post like the video, like the photo after to the Facebook group for my work, so everyone can see from here.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
So anyway, I drew this portrait of Captain Janeway. I was originally trying to get it out for Kate Mulgrew's birthday, but I didn't have time because we were moving. But I did get it done in time for Fan Expo Boston, and I brought 2 copies with me, one for her to sign and one to like let her keep. And Kate Mulgrew, she signed it, and she says I'm a marvelous artist.
That's really good. That's really good because
Yeah.
I know when you told us that you were just like excited, like you were kind of like squealing for joy, to be honest.
I was like, it really meant a lot to me. Like, this is my second time, like, meeting. Well, I guess my third time, I guess, meeting a Star Trek actor I really cared a lot about. The first time was Brent Spiner at Rhode Island Comic Con. I got a selfie with him. But this meant so much to me. Just knowing that a Starfleet captain likes my art, it just meant so much to me.
Well, again, both you, myself, and like the rest of like our group, we're really happy that you went through with it and that you really loved the art. And for those who don't know, Toaster actually did the artwork of our characters right here on the little poster right beside me. I should point out that like the reason my character is like the female of the group, it's because it's my OC, my original character, and her outfit is the outfit that Jim Carrey wore as Dr. Robotnik in the Sonic movie, which Toaster knows that I'm a huge Sonic nerd.
Well, the movies are great.
Oh yeah, I am still hoping that Paramount releases the trailer for the third movie soon. Like, stop teasing us, Paramount. Give us the trailer. I want to see Shadow.
I have heard it's going to be this month.
Here's hoping it's better than the Star Trek trailers they released.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about those quickly?
Oh yeah. So, Paramount released a couple of trailers for the upcoming Star Trek projects. You guys are gonna know I love Star Trek. It helped me through the pandemic and all that. But they released a couple of trailers for recent Star Trek things that are coming out, and I wasn't really a fan of either of them.
Really?
But Well, one of them was the trailer for Strange New Worlds Season 3, and I have very mixed feelings on Strange New Worlds. I want to like it, but there are just so many little issues with it that prevent me from liking it. Like, in the Season 3 trailer, we have this moment where it's hard to explain, but they, like, Pike and a couple others, they get this serum injected into them that turns them into Vulcans, which was kind of a reverse of this thing from the previous season where Spock became fully human, and there was this really condescending scene in the episode where the human characters on the Enterprise are trying to teach the man who's been a Vulcan for most of his life how to act like a Vulcan, and it just comes across as very condescending, and I hate it, and I hate that they would take down one of my favorite Star Trek characters so badly like this. I'm sorry, I just get heated about these things because I love Spock so much.
Yeah, she's a Spock fan. Like,
I love Spock.
even if like I criticize Spock, I get like the death glare from her. So I'd rather not insult Spock tonight because I want to make it through tonight.
Well,
So I can.
yeah, because Strange New Worlds has done a good enough job of insulting Spock already, and like that's the other thing is when they turn into Vulcans, they get really condescending towards Spock because he's only half Vulcan, but it doesn't make sense for the characters. Doesn't make sense for them to just completely change their personalities once they become Vulcans. Like, because they still have memories of who they are. And, like, one of my biggest things that bothers me about Strange New Worlds is how tonally inconsistent it is. It often feels like I can't tell whether it's trying to be silly or serious. Like, they'll have all this drama going on, but the characters are talking like they're in a workplace comedy, and it just does not make sense to me. In my head.
Sorry,
and don't get me wrong, I don't hate Star Trek being comedic. I love Lower Decks.
Lower Decks is hilarious. I am kind of sad that we're getting like one final season for it.
I know, I'm so sad.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, say what you will about like Star Trek and that. I'm just happy that Netflix decided to pick up the rights to
Prodigy.
Yeah, Prodigy. Like that's one of the reasons why I got Paramount Plus in the first place was to watch Prodigy because
I still need to watch. I'll probably watch season 2 of Prodigy once I'm done with my online classes right now. And then the other Star Trek trailer that they recently released was the Section 31 movie teaser. And Section 31 is like kind of an idea that was introduced in Deep Space Nine, and I already told you guys Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek. So Section 31 was kind of like a secret organization within Starfleet. They're sort of like the Men in Black of Starfleet, and they were kind of teasing the Section 31 movie for years, and what we got, I was not very impressed with it. I'm gonna put this as nice as I can. You guys remember the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, right?
I've never seen those.
Well, I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one. Wait, I've seen the first two. I've seen the third one.
Okay. Well, I'm not. This isn't a criticism of the J.J. Abrams movies. I think as like sci-fi action movies, they're pretty good. But as Star Trek movies, they're just missing that one little thing. It's like they're kind of missing that thought-provoking element that Star Trek is known for. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like it when Star Trek is just allowed to be fun sometimes. Again, I love Lower Decks. Mm-hmm. But, with the Section 31 movie trailer, like, if they didn't have the Starfleet Delta logo in the screens, I wouldn't have been able to tell what franchise it was. I mean, at least with the J.J. Abrams movies, I could tell what franchise it was.
Well, I'm just going to say this quickly before we move on to like our next topic. But so Comic-Con was recently, and like I don't know if this is a legitimate crossover happening, but for some reason they posted up like a trailer between Star Trek and Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. A lot of my friends who like Doctor Who were really upset that they didn't get that much of the original, of the older seasons of Doctor Who featured. It was like all the new stuff, and I can't really speak for that, but it did really disappoint me. Yeah, I know that you're a Whovian.
Yeah. Whovian, for those who don't know, it's the term for a fan of Doctor Who.
You're a Whovian, I'm a Trekkie, whatever. But I will say that the trailer, like, we got a decent amount of selections from most of the Star Treks. You know, we saw Kirk, we saw Picard, we saw Janeway. But it does really disappoint me how we only got one shot of DS9 in the whole thing. They did my boy Cisco so dirty. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to make any assumptions, but it really does feel like Paramount is trying to erase my favorite captain.
I think it's just they're going with like the series that's like more popular. That's just my opinion.
know. I wish more people loved DS9.
And I'm gonna say this: even if they do decide to do like a Doctor Who and Star Trek crossover, they've already done it in the form of some comics. Matt Smith's incarnation of the Doctor, he teamed up with I think it was either Kirk or Picard. I think it was Picard. Yeah, it was Picard.
Right.
They did like a huge crossover like with the Borgs and the Daleks. The Daleks are like one of the biggest enemies for the Doctor. Yeah,
they're the Exterminate guys, right?
Yeah, and then there was another one where the Enterprise and the Doctor were facing off against the Cybermen and the Borgs. That one was actually really bad, not bad. It's like they brought the Tom Baker Doctor back for like a flashback apparently, which was really interesting because Tom Baker.
I'm surprised they didn't do anything with Gary 7.
Yeah, but anyway, shall we move on to our next topic, you guys?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, and so
Thanks for letting me talk about Star Trek.
hey, you asked it and I delivered. All right, as I mentioned before,
For some bread.
one of the things we like to talk about on the podcast is video games, because I believe like the three of us were gamers.
I like some games. I'm not as big a gamer as you two, but there are some games I really, really like.
I was actually just going to say that, and then I realized that might sound utterly sexist.
Why would it sound sexist? It has nothing to do with me being a girl.
People can also say people could assume that I said it because said she's not as big of a gamer as the two of us are. Yeah.
I did not make the connection.
Stupid people.
Yes.
So yeah, but anyway.
Like there's like my poor wallet's gonna be like broke by the time November comes, because we have like game after game coming out like within the next month, like the next couple of months or so. And our first game like these two knew that I had to talk about this like right off the hop. And we are not only gaining a remake of probably one of the best Sonic the Hedgehog games, Sonic Generations, but it's a little different because this year Sega is actually celebrating a certain Ultimate Life form. It's his anniversary. It's the year of Shadow, because Shadow is going to be featured in the third Sonic movie, and he's going to be voiced by the talented Keanu Reeves, which I am excited for. So we're getting a game that's called Sonic Shadow Generations. And what's cool about this is Shadow gets his own campaign in the game, and it features more about his backstory, which like it's going to dive into it, like his backstory, which is amazing because they haven't really done that much with Shadow's backstory, like in the comics and that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're fine. It's essentially just Ian Flynn's now getting full reign of doing Shadow's backstory instead of just the writers they had for Shadow the Hedgehog.
And can I just say, Ian Flynn, he's so talented when it comes to like writing for Sonic. Like he knows these characters inside and out because he worked on Sonic, like Sonic comics, back during Archie's publishing days, and then he took over when IDW picked up the publishing rights to comics. He has done an amazing job with these comics. He's done an amazing job with these characters. Like there's a lot more development for some of the characters, I find, and like reading the new comics. But yeah, aside from Sonic Shadow Generations, we're also going to be getting a 3-part animated series on YouTube that, again, it dives into Shadow's past. And when me and you saw this like teaser for it, we kind of lost our marbles because of a certain robot that's featured in it.
No robots were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Well, no, it's you want to explain who that robot is, Yuyu?
Sure, give me a quick minute. So about 21 years ago, we had a Game Boy Advance game called Sonic Battle. It mostly had Sonic and Co. dealing with a robot that they found after Eggman threw him away, which is a Gizoid called Emerald. He is powered by Chaos Emerald, and each story gives him a new Chaos Emerald. Basically, they are bringing Emerald story ends with him basically self-destructing at the very end and
Yeesh.
to basically stop Eggman's plans. In the following game, Sonic Advance 3, we see a strange robot called Gemerald, which is another Gizoid, this time created purely by Eggman. Gemerald, at the end of 3, is rebooted into being back to Emerald. We don't really see a lot of this in later games, but it is very much implied that we do see this in the IDW Sonic comics.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I know in the IDW Sonic comics, it's Gemerald that they have, because Gemerald kind of stays with Cream and her mom. He kind of like solely looks after Cream for Vanilla, Cream's mom. And when
Cream's the rabbit, right?
Yeah, Cream's. And when Sonic was infected with the metal virus that Eggman unleashed upon everyone, Cream points out that Tails rebuilt him after he got destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember that whole part, but yeah, I just remember. I gotta read the comics before I go to bed. But no, I'm really excited for this because Shadow is like one of the more interesting characters of the Sonic games, and his backstory it's a little tragic if you think about it, because he lost the only person that ever treated him like with respect, like didn't treat him like a lab rat, like which is what he was. So I'm really excited for that. And so the other game that I'm really excited for, and like this caught me and like us by surprise. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about a certain mischievous mouse that starts with the Mickey of fame. This caught us by surprise, but we are getting a full-blown remake of one of the best Mickey Mouse games, Epic Mickey Rebrushed. So for those who don't know about Epic Mickey, it was a game that was created because back at that time, Mickey wasn't really in that much video games, and so Disney, like, they wanted to kind of keep their main character like in the spotlight, and so they hired a team to come up with an idea for a game, and the idea kind of just evolved from something like, what if they did something where Mickey is pulled into a world full of like forgotten characters? And one of the main characters that they really wanted to include in the game, but they couldn't because they didn't own the rights to that, was actually Walt's first character that he created before Mickey, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And so then when Disney did a deal between Disney and I think it was Universal, Disney bought the rights back to Oswald, and so he was featured in this game. The premise of this game is Mickey is pulled into a world called Wasteland after he kind of makes a mess after fooling around with a magic paintbrush done by Yin the Sorcerer, who was putting the finish touches on Wasteland. So Mickey kind of like has to own up to his mistake as he sees this world full of forgotten, rejected characters, and the resentment that Oswald has for him, because Oswald hates Mickey with a red hot fiery passion. Let me tell you, he has a whole place named after him called Mickey Junk Mountain, where any sort of like Mickey Mouse memorabilia ends up in this like landfill.
He's like Kanye Noonien Singh to Mickey's Captain Kirk.
Yeah, there's that. But like from what we've seen, like the footage in that, the game just looks spectacular. Like just the graphics look amazing. I hope they fix the camera.
I hope they fix how annoying the backtracking is.
Yeah, the backtracking is like horrendous in this game. But yeah, there's that. And like I've told the others this, but I kind of hope though with if things go well with the remake for Epic Mickey, let's get a remake for Epic Mickey 2, the Power Up 2, and maybe this will convince Disney to let the team behind the remake THQ Nordic. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's THQ Nordic.
If things go well, let them continue, like let them finish the series that Warren Spector of Junction Point created with. Let's get Epic Mickey 3, and hey, while we're at it, let's get that canceled Epic Donald game that was supposed to come out, which when I found that out, they knew I was upset because they know I love the duck more than the mouse.
Oh, could it have the DuckTales characters in it? Like,
well, the
could
whole
it have
idea,
Scrooge in it?
but the whole idea was it was originally going to like be like a DuckTales adventure. Like Duckburg, Donald's home was going to be like the map. Like you could like roam around Duckburg. Like how about like Scrooge? How about the boys? Like it was an interesting idea for a game, but then just Disney they didn't like how the sales for Epic Mickey 2 were going, and I think that's just because of how they were handling the sequel.
Idiots.
Yeah, well, the second game, like just so much stuff. We might have to do like a whole podcast about that maybe at some point. But let's move on to like the next game. And this one, me and Yuyu are really excited for because it's a game that hasn't been it's a game that's part of a series that hasn't been heard from in 9 years, and it's a series that we really like. For those that don't know, Mario has actually delved into RPG games with Paper Mario, but the biggest one is the Mario and Luigi series, and so we're finally getting a new game in that installment, Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Hood, not ship.
So,
Brotherhood.
I thought it was Brothership. Yeah, it's
That sounds disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, Brothership. For some reason, you have Hood in the Discord.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm not the best.
Mario and Luigi in the hood.
I can just see that.
I am going to hell now.
All right, but from what we see, the art style is different, which is it's nice. It's more comedic, which is the kind of feels more like the original game Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Yeah, it sounds like an interesting game. I can't wait for that. And then I know I didn't add this to the list, but we should talk about this because it's been so long, and we're finally getting a game where you play as the character that the series is named after. We are getting a Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda.
I mean, we were able to play as Zelda in Age of Calamity and Hyrule Warriors.
That's true, but you know what I mean, a full-blown actual Zelda adventure kind of game.
Why do they call it Legend of Zelda if she's not the main character?
I don't know.
Shut up. That's why.
Then again,
Yeah.
That's why do they call the series Metroid if the Metroid are the aliens and they're not in every single game?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
I remember as well. Never mind.
All right. So, anything you guys want to say about the Zelda game before we move on to the next topic?
I'm honestly really excited about the fact that we have Gerudos in a top-down game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you saw that and you just you're holy shit! You're.
Yeah, I actually lost my mind about that.
Yeah. All right.
So we actually are getting the Gerudos in a top-down game. They've never been in a top-down game.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So, who here knows about Batman?
Who doesn't know about Batman?
So, earlier this year, is it this year? I think it's been this year or last year. I cannot remember. We lost the incredible, talented Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from the animated series, and from that point on, he's done Batman for
2022.
So
it was 2022.
Thank you. So last year.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, Kevin, he is Batman in everything that he's provided for the character. And so before he passed away, it was announced that he had recorded his lines for the Justice League Suicide Squad game, and given how that game was received, I'm just gonna say let's not talk about that game, okay?
Which really sucks that that's the continuing of the Arkham games.
Yeah, it completely just.
I mean, granted, the playable Joker looks fun as hell, but I do actually want to actually try that game out. So I'm legit curious, but very low discount, $5. And honestly, I would not probably be getting any other DLC characters after him, because the next one was just we have Mr. Freeze, but it's Nora instead of Victor.
Really?
Well, my friends and I have made fun of that design so much.
Or it's or they just turned Victor into Victoria. I don't remember which one it was.
But my friends and I have made fun of her stupid haircut so much. Some of my friends who know more about comics than I do.
All right, but so as I said, before he passed away, Kevin managed to record his lines as Batman a few times, and one of the things that he recorded for was the third installment of Justice League.
All three installments.
I thought it was just the one.
No, he was Batman for Justice League, so he was Batman for all three things. But I am double checking real quick.
I thought it was the third one, but should I continue then?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just doing a quick check.
So yeah, you can do a quick check and just correct me if I messed up. But yeah, Kevin managed to record some dialogue for his final time, and I had asked you if he could share those lines right, when he's ready, just because it's just the impact that he has as Batman. He's Batman.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in part 1. Was he in part 2? Yeah, part 3. Yeah, it was just part 3 that he was just in.
I was right. Anyway,
D-pad, I can boot you.
please don't. Anyway, do you want to share the lines?
But I also do want to add a real quick thing. This movie was also the final time that Mark Hamill will ever voice the Joker, because he does not want to do Joker to another Batman. Kevin Conroy was his Batman, and without Kevin, it's not the same. He's not doing it in a dick way. It wouldn't feel the same type thing. It's like people can't think of it as like, oh, Mark's being a jerk. No, Kevin was his Batman. And honestly, I think a lot of people can agree. It would be really weird to have Mark Hamill as the Joker with anyone else other than Kevin as Batman.
Yeah, and if they have to pick someone to take over the role as Joker, Troy Baker. He's had experience voicing the Joker before. Mm-hmm. He's really good.
I also think he is the voice for Joker in Ninja Batman. I'm checking.
He was Ninja Batman because Roger Craig Smith, the voice of Sonic, was Batman for the movie.
No, that was Tony Hale. That
was Roger Craig Smith.
No, Batman is Roger. Joker is Tony Hale.
Oh, okay. I guess I was wrong. Oh, well. Okay. But yeah.
So you're telling me that Sonic is also Batman?
Yeah, I will explain with you after, okay? I'll explain it to you after. But,
I'm just adding to the jokes.
All right. Do you want to go with the lines and we can move on to the next topic?
I actually do want to check something for the second Batman movie. Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
I was checking for Yakuza League. Yuri Lowenthal will be Damien.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they're actually going to be bringing Damien into this series, which that's neat.
He was in the first one.
Yeah, he was in the first one too, but he's going to have more of a role in this.
Well, that's going to be good. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to go over the lines quickly?
Yeah. God damn it. You asked me this last minute, by the way. Like, he literally did ask me to do this last minute, and it's like, God damn it, D-pad. I can still kick you.
Why would you want to?
Good.
Because it's funny. All right. I care, Joker, about Gotham, about justice, and if it has to end, at least it goes out like this, being Batman.
And in the end, the love you take.
Oh, shut up.
I will not shut up.
It did, but I will admit the ending of that movie did piss a lot of people off.
Basically, if you don't know about Crisis on Infinite Earth, basically a lot of like the multiverses were wiped out, and so for some reason they thought,
including two series that actually royally pissed off DC animated fans.
Yeah, that one of them is the Teen Titans series, which was like good.
Yes,
I'm talking the original Titans series, not
the original Teen Titans, not Go, which is what it's turned into.
Oh, they wiped out the Teen Titans universe?
The original animated series.
What in Shatner's panties were they smoking?
Yeah, it's like it. I honestly lost. DC animated universe has now shot itself in the foot.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually.
I didn't think I'd be this ticked off about something that isn't Star Trek related.
I am going to be honest. Ninja Batman will be a good thing because the original was a good thing. But anything that's not like a side or I shouldn't say side, one-off type deals, those can still stand. But anything that continues from Justice League, from continuing from that movie, that's just shooting them in the foot. That is just shooting them in the foot.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to our next topic, and that is there's a series called
Another
Jellystone.
Crisis on Infinity.
I was just trying to explain a little bit about Jellystone first.
I know.
Yeah. But Jellystone, it's like a Hanna-Barbera series. Like you have like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry, and like they all live together in a town called Jellystone, which is nice. And they're going to be doing their own little crossover with Cartoon Network. Crisis on Infinite Mirths. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, it's Infinite Mirths.
Yeah, and I think I still have the list of like the stuff for like who's going to be in the series.
It's basically the classic cartoon characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we're getting anything.
Lab and those guys.
I don't think we're getting anything from past 2000. I think it's all the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no Finn, no Jake, No Gumball, nothing from basically more modern Cartoon Network stuff. It's just going to be the early 90s, maybe some early 2000s characters that will show up, but nothing I would say past like 2005.
So I'm not going to get to see my boy KO in this. I am sitting down.
Meh.
Hey,
I
you're not
still
going
need to watch it.
I said what I said.
It seems like such a good
Meh.
show.
MEH. Meh.
Anyway, so speaking of Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers decided to actually
you didn't get the list?
I don't know if I can find it. That's the thing.
Okay, I'll look. I'll look while you're doing this.
All right, I can't remember where I posted it, to be honest. Like, I think I posted it in my server. I don't know if you posted it in yours. I can't remember, to be honest. Let me look through here. But one thing I will say about the Cartoon Network some crossover is, like, instead of getting like new voice actors for the Cartoon Network characters, they're gonna get like the original voice actors to reprise their role for these characters, which I think is just a great idea. So honestly,
even for like the Powerpuff Girls.
I think so for the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know if Tara Strong's coming back because of what she's been doing. Apparently there is going to be a scene in the reboot where
okay, I have the list.
Okay,
we'll finish this and then I'll share the thing. But I will admit I am wrong.
Okay, so there's going to be a scene in the crossover where Bubbles is beating the crud out of her 2016 counterpart from like the not so good reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. And this was approved by the creator, Craig Kraken himself. So that's interesting. Anyway, do you want to share
good to know he has standards.
Well, I mean, he wasn't behind the reboot or the attempted live action reboot.
Yeah, that was like
that's why I said good to know he has standards.
Yeah.
Anyway, the full list will be including the Powerpuff Girls. Since Deep had already spoiled that, will be Dexter's Lab, Grim and Evil. So we actually, it says them both separately, but it's like, why not just do the original show, Grim and Evil? And Eddie.
Billy and Mandy is great.
Regular show. So we are getting stuff past 2000. We are getting stuff past 2000. Camp Laszlo.
Regular show doesn't really feel nice.
Adventure Time, Chowder. Time Squad, Fosters, which actually is coming back from its own thing. Also, please stop doing nice after every time.
I'm sorry, I'm so excited.
No, I know. But it's like keep your spark plugs in.
All right.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. What it mean? I'm just trying to call down the noise level stuff. So people think I'm trying to be mean. I'm not. Anyway, Cow and Chicken.
Horses are held.
Cow and Chicken really surprised me for that, you know?
Johnny Bravo, Samurai Jack.
That's also kind of shocking.
Samurai Jack, Kids Next Door, Ben 10. We're not sure if it's the original series or if it's the newer series.
Please let it be the original. Please let it be the original.
Whatever happened to Robot Jones?
That is another
Blackjack for some reason. And My Gym Partner is a Monkey.
They put that show in this?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
My Gym Partner is a Monkey is like it's like the definition of that one show you liked as a kid but don't like as an adult.
Yeah.
When you're like 90 years old, you think the phrase monkey butt is the funniest thing in the universe.
I think we should.
That you watch that shit as an adult, and you're like, why did I find this funny?
I think I should also point out that the villain for this crossover is none other than Mojo Jojo, which it seems legit. It seems right.
Which is weird considering you have so many other shows, and it just could just be Mojo Jojo's teaming up with other villains like Mandark. Vilgax, those two nerd kids from Robot Jones.
Yeah, like an actual plot synopsis. We'll have to talk about it a little bit more.
Evil, that stuff. Yeah, but it's like no, it's just Mojo Jojo, and it's like that's kind of lame.
Right. So I got to get back to the list here. So
no, that's fine.
Okay, so we mentioned the whole Warner Brothers thing. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing, and that's Warner Brothers is just removing Cartoon Network from existence now. Like they got rid of the website.
Yeah, my friends told me about this morning, and it absolutely ticked me off.
I for one vote we get rid of David Zaleff's.
Yeah,
I will
Yes,
not say
Laz.
go into detail as to how, because that could get us in trouble. All I just say is we should get rid of him.
Yeah, that's
I say teleport him to the moon.
We'll deal with him the same way that happens to Judge Doom in Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
But it can't kill a human.
just
Can
all
it?
right. Anyway, let's move on.
That's the plot twist. He's a tune.
Stop putting logic in right now. Stop putting logic in right now.
We just wanted to bring that
I'm
up.
I'm
I
a
just
robot.
wanted
I
to
have
do a
to
joke.
have
I just
logic.
wanted to do a joke.
Okay,
Anyway, back to the crime.
Yeah.
All right.
Cartoon Network. I have a lot of fond memories watching this network as a kid. Like it introduced me to like Toonami when that was like on at midnight. Kids Next Door, one of my favorite shows. Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls. That's just like this was an amazing channel, and it's just sad that the way that they're treating it now. Like I don't like it.
Neither do I. Cartoon Network really was like, I don't want to say it created my childhood, but I feel like it had such an influence on me, and I'm really sad to see that it is being treated so badly in this day and age.
That's true.
Like it really does. It reminds me a little bit. I might have said this in a previous installment of the podcast, but it reminds me a lot of the first time Warner Brothers was really abusing their animation.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that now, just so you're aware. All right, so let's just move on to our next topic, and that is a certain movie turned 45 this year. I'm actually really excited to believe. Like, I cannot believe this, but it's been 45 years for the Muppet movie. I'm excited because like you guys know that like I'm a huge Muppet fanatic, and you guys know that I like to talk about the Muppets a lot in my server.
Well, the Muppets were great.
Well, anything that Jim Henson created was just amazing. And it's also like the 50th anniversary for Kermit's quote unquote romantic partner. It's also the 50th anniversary for Miss Piggy. And apparently, if you say that she's 50, she will give you a karate chop, which seems legit for the character. But moving on from that, it's also 25 years for a certain SquarePants person, and that's SpongeBob SquarePants. I know I just kind of want to move on because we're going to be talking about SpongeBob for a bit because we love the little sponge, don't we?
Yes.
And they recently released like a new movie, Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sang Cheeks movie. I watched it. It's not bad. It has like some points that I just don't really like of it, but it's still a good movie. I am happy though that Camp Coral, the SpongeBob spin-off, ended. And I think the Patrick Star show is also ending. And we have like two movies that are coming. One is for Netflix. It's the Plankton movie. We are getting a movie for Bikini Bottom's tiniest resident, Sheldon J. Plankton. I think that's going to be a funny movie, honestly, because Mr. Lawrence, the voice of Plankton, he's working on the script for the movie. So he knows the character. And you were telling me before that Plankton was just going to be like a one-shot character, right?
Yeah, he was originally going to be a one-shot character, and I believe it was his voice actor that was the one that they that convinced him. It's like, hey, I could do more with this character.
He's really done a lot more as Plankton, like for the show. Like he's really brought like a lot of Plankton to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Plankton is great.
And we are going to be getting like a new theatrical SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants. And we talked about Mark Hamill
Relation to Search for Spock.
We talked about Mark Hamill as Joker. He is going to be voicing the Flying Dutchman for the movie, which is interesting, honestly.
Especially considering how Dutchman's normal voice actor will be stepping down very, very soon. Like, I think Cosmic Shake is the last thing for the character he will be voicing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it's because, like, you know, it's getting harder for him to voice the character. Honestly, I think
that's because his voice is so iconic.
Yeah.
As the Flying Dutchman. And he was also Knuckles from Flapjack.
Yep.
Honestly, the SpongeBob 25th anniversary panel at Comic-Con, he actually voiced the Flying Dutchman for like a bit, and he just sounds perfect for the character.
Does he sound like the original guy, or does he do his own take?
He does his own take on the character, which is fine with me, to be honest. Yeah, I'm excited for that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so we have a sister series that we had just posted our second video for Movie Sign, where we review movies. We review good movies and bad movies. We're still doing the good movies because we kind of want to warm up before we kind of make ourselves go insane with the bad movies. So we just posted up our second review, which is on Yu's pick, The Emperor's New Groove. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's hilarious. I think I really outdid myself for the editing for that.
You really did.
Thank you. And so our third pick is Toaster's pick. So Toaster, do you want to share what your pick is?
Yes. So you guys, I might have mentioned it before, but I am kind of a Pixar nut. At least, well, I like the older movies a lot. I don't want to say all their new stuff is bad, but Pixar is another one of those things that really defined my childhood and kind of my attitudes towards writing. So we are going to be doing one of the most adult, quote unquote, children's movies out there, The Incredibles.
Oh boy.
Me and Toaster are happy. You, however, does not like the movie. So
I didn't say I don't like it. I'm just not. No, I do. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just personally do not like it. So this will actually be the real first episode of the series because we're gonna actually have conflicting viewpoints on a movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And so, what we do for this, we each take turns picking. And so, Incredibles was announced, and so the fourth pick is to me, and so I kind of wanted to share my announcement for the fourth pick, and that is going to be on probably one of my favorite Batman movies. We're going to be reviewing Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. I kind of had to decide because I wanted to do this one or I wanted to do the first Sesame Street movie, but I'm going to wait for next December because that's when Carol Spinney, the puppeteer, passed away. So I kind of want to do the video for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow That Bird is such a good movie.
Yeah, it is. It isn't. And Yuyu also wanted to talk a little bit about movie sign with his favorite anime, One Piece.
I was actually going to talk about that. I'm going to be making these two watch One Piece. And, well, Deep has been getting into it a little bit, but we're going to be watching One Piece. We will not. I'm going to be honorable. We are not going to be doing filler. All filler will be skipped, except for one-off episodes. There's a small filler for between Alabasta and Skypiea. We will be watching those because I actually really like those episodes. But more arc-based ones like Rainbow Shell, G8, even though everyone loves that one, I don't like that one. And that stuff will actually be skipped. So I'm going to show a little bit of mercy. I will, and for those of you who going, that's going to take over the series, it's not. We're going to be doing this in tandem with the movie reviews.
Yeah, if we need to take a break from reviewing movies, we're going to take a break and just review One Piece for a bit.
Yeah. I also will be having them watch almost all of the movies. The only one we're not going to be watching is the sixth movie because I personally do not actually hate that movie. I do not like the sixth One Piece movie.
Well, speaking of One Piece and that, I know Nikki, she had asked me if at some point she could be involved when we review One Piece, if that's okay with you guys.
What was that again?
I do like Nikki a lot.
Nikki had asked if she could join us when we review One Piece. Not
sure
always, but certain times.
Of course, I love Nikki.
Sure, that's fine.
you know that she likes One Piece too.
Yeah, I do.
And when she got up to the part in the manga where I don't want to say
the big one. The big one.
Yeah.
She cried.
Yeah, and I'm just I'm trying to comfort her. I'm it's okay. I'm actually looking forward to that because it's gonna be fun. Because he's kind of gotten me into One Piece now, just as the series is kind of coming to a close. Which, I'm excited for it.
And we also do have the new anime series for it coming out. Now, I also will note this: if these two guys are okay with it, we'll be more talking about this off screen, so they don't need to give an answer now. We might be doing a compare and contrast to the arcs in the One Piece, the upcoming remake series. And we also might do the live action. That's up to these guys. We'll talk about that off screen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, are we gonna include the live action series? Because I know a lot of the fans don't really like it that much.
Oh no, I've heard nothing but very high praises for the live action series. I've heard nothing but praises the majority across the board.
See, I heard some people don't like it, but I think that's just diehard fans that are.
The only thing that disappoints me about that is we don't have Jamie Lee Curtis as Dr. Kureha.
Given her schedule, yeah, I think she was a little bit upset.
I blame Disney. I fucking blame Disney. Fuck you, Disney. Why the hell did you have to do a remake of Freaky Friday now? What? Not remake, a sequel. Why did you have to do that now? We could have had Jamie Lee Curtis as Kureha.
Okay, yeah, just watch. There's kids in the audience, too.
There's kids in the audience?
I know. I was going to be going that long. Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry. Just I don't want to get in trouble with that, you know?
No, I know.
I did not know there were kids in the audience.
Yeah, there's. Well, I told you guys, like, you know, we have to watch the language. So, yeah, there's that. I apologize for you just get a little heated up. So let's just move on to our final topic, and that is it's also 40 years for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like that's also hard to believe, and I'm actually really proud
I don't
of that.
believe it.
I'm actually really proud for that because like the Turtles are seeing like a resurgence of like a lot. Yeah, we gotta wrap this up soon. So there's that. Yeah, he came out with a new series, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a continuation of the Mutant Mayhem movie. I am going to be watching that series when I'm with my friend Steven in Saskatoon. I'm excited for that. We're getting like the sequel to the movie. We still won't know who's going to be voicing the Shredder for that movie. I'm hoping it's someone good, honestly. My friend DJ's here. He suggested Ken Watson I'll be as Shredder. But yeah, I think that's almost it for the podcast, you guys. We got to wrap things up. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Just be sure.
It was so nice recording with you guys again.
That too, but also yeah. But be sure to check out my streams, Split Screen, Movie Sign, that stuff. That will all be in the description below. For those watching, you can check for the live audience that we have. We can just check out the video when D-Pad uploads it too.
Going to be uploading the video to the Facebook group like we get it edited in that. Yeah, I would like to thank Hillary and Sean and the rest of the staff for letting me put on this performance for you guys. How did I do, you guys? Give me a round of applause. You think I did good? Thank you. I would like to, of course, thank Yuyu and Toaster for helping me out with this. This was really fun, you guys.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah, it was a really fun time.
Hopefully we can do it again next year. All right. Well, with that said, you guys, I am going to turn things over to my boss, and I'll talk to you guys after we're done getting things taken care of. But thank you everyone for listening. This has been the Yin Yang Podcast. I've been your host, D-Pad. Until the next video, later days.
I've been Yuyu. Take care.
And I'm Robot Toaster. Have a good night.